So hello everyone, this is IndieDev team. We are a bunch of just three indie game developers. We want to create our first game and launch it in 2017. So we have just started learning Blender, and after that we are gonna start learning Unreal. So as for you guys have supported so much, like our videos is getting views, and when we uploaded the fire simulation, you guys had just asked asked for the tutorial and how to, and one has asked that how to change colors. So in this video I'm gonna show you how you can create the fire simulation simply. Wait, let's get started. So first of all, open Blender, and what I had done, I had just created a cylinder. I have just created a pipe, and from that I have just generated fire. So there are two ways that you can create fire simulation. First using particle system, and the second one is using just like without particle system. So let me create one. I'm gonna delete this, and instead of that I'm gonna add a UV sphere like that. And the first thing you need is an object which contains the fire, like which is emitting fire. So this is an object which is emitting fire, but suppose this world has a vacuum, like there is no oxygen in this world. So in this 3D space we need to create an oxygen so we can just light a fire. So for that we need to create a vacuum. We need to create a box, a domain for that, which has oxygen in it, like suppose. Okay, so what we are gonna do, we are gonna create an object. So let's add a cube and just go into the wireframe, and then just resize it, and go in the front view. And I'm gonna do this because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make it a fireball. So that's all. And I'm just gonna shrink the cube in the x and y direction. So size that, I'm gonna shrink it. I think that is much better. And the top is good. If you want, you can just increase the top because the fire is gonna be at the top. So I'm gonna just like that, but don't make it too big because then the fire will gonna take that much time to simulate and bake. So keep in mind that keep it small, this domain small. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you that without particle system. So first let's just go in our physics tab, and for this our fireball we're gonna create fluid. And in the fluid there are tons of options, like the first one is domain, which is this box in which we are gonna, inside this the fire will gonna be. And the second one is flow, which is gonna emit fire, which is for this ball. And the third one is effector, like if you want to create some balls that just collide with the fire, so that is used for effector. I'm gonna show you later. So for this we are gonna create flow, and here you can create smoke, fire and smoke, fire and liquid. So we are gonna use fire and smoke. And geometry, there are just like three options. You can use the geometry, so it's gonna like the fire is gonna emitting over the geometry. And in the inflow the fire is gonna emit like on the whole. And in the outflow, the objects which have outflow, the fire gonna add stop like them. It's like the object which has a outflow, they're gonna absorb the fire. So for this we are gonna go for inflow. And for this also I'm gonna just do that. So let's do the fluid. For the box we are gonna do it domain, and you can see there's a fire already. And for that we need to create it gas. And so this is our fire, you can just play it, but you can see it is not very quite good. So we just need to create with some, this is the timestamp. You can use this to just manage the speed of the fire, how fast the fire gonna emit. And I'm gonna do it like on the top one, so the fire gonna just react with the top, and I don't need the bottom. Okay, so I can just increase the vorticity. It will just gonna look the fire more like explosive, like that. So I'm gonna do it like point 0.5 or something, uh, but that is also 2. So let's just keep it on point 0. Yep. And now we're gonna give this fire a velocity because at this time it has none. So let's create like velocity, and you can see that it is kind of like pixelated and just like not in a good resolution. That you can increase from over here. You can just increase the resolution from over here. So this is gonna happen now. Fuck. Okay, okay, okay. Let's just reopen the Blender. Okay, so hello everyone. Now we're gonna start our fire simulation tutorial. So there are two ways of creating fire simulation. First of all, using a mesh, or instead using a particle system like that. So by using the mesh, we're just gonna emit the fire from this mesh. And in the particle system, like you can see these balls, this balls and this particle is gonna emit fire, not the mesh. So first let's see how we can create it with mesh. So for creating a fire, you need two things. Just suppose of this world, this 3D world, like there is no oxygen in it, so you can't emit fire. If I'm gonna go to my physics tab, set the fluid for it, and in the fluid you have three options: domain, flow, and effector. For this ball, we want it to emit fire. So for this, we're gonna go flow because this ball gonna emit fire. So this is flow, and in that you can select according to your choice. For now, we can choose fire and smoke. Okay. So and here also flow behavior. You want it inflow, outflow, or geometry. If you're gonna choose the geometry, the fire will gonna emit just like around the circle, forming a circle around it, use forming a shape of the geometry. That don't look realistic, so we're gonna go for inflow. What inflow? It's gonna emit fire from every direction, and it's gonna emit fire. And we can just change the directions of the fire, like going in X direction, Y direction, Z direction, like that. But you can't do with that with geometry. And outflow is just absorb the fire. By inflow, it's gonna emit the fire, and if you just do the outflow, it's gonna absorb the fire. Like I will give you an example. Like if you have this and just set it in that. If if this thing, this ball is gonna this object is gonna emit fire, and the fire is gonna when the fire touches it, the fire will gone. This is gonna absorb the fire because this is outflow and this is inflow. Let's just see an example. First of all, delete this, and but right now we can't just emit the fire and we can't just see fire. See, because there's no oxygen, like I have said. So for that, we're gonna create a domain. Inside of that domain, we can see the fire. Because suppose of it like that contains oxygen. That's gonna add a mesh cube. I'm gonna go to wireframe, increase the size in Z, G of Z. I'm gonna place it over here. That would be good. Size should see. Okay, this is good. And for now, we're so this is our domain. We're gonna set it to flow, and here we're gonna use domain. This is the domain in which the fire gonna be. Fire will not go out of this domain. So for this, we're gonna choose the gas, and this is the resolution. Like that, you can see the fire, but you can see that the fire is kind of pixelated. not that much good. So you can just increase the resolution according to you during the big time. So it's gonna it's gonna be more like resoluted, more high quality. So and this is the time scale. You can control the speed of the fire with this time scale. I'm gonna do it as it is the normal speed, but I'm gonna show you. Like if you're gonna do it around 5, see the fire is going in so slow. I'm gonna do it one. Now see, fire is going much faster, normal. And CMF number, this fire is gonna be more randomized, like that, more smoky, a little bit chaotic. But if you want your fire to be more chaotic, you can just increase this vorticity, like that. See, the fire will be more chaotic. I'm gonna do it to 0. And now let's just, here you can just select the gravity. Like if we're gonna do it 0, it's gonna be the same to like, fire is not gonna move because there's no gravity. So we're gonna increase the gravity and like that, the fire is there. And let's show you something. So this is that. If we're gonna do it geometry, so see, the fire is coming around the geometry, like forming a circle and gone, and just smoke left. So that's the geometry. And outflow, let's just explain the outflow also. So this is the inflow. Now the fire gonna emit like that. I'm gonna copy it, shift D, Z axis, and just over here. And for this, I'm gonna set it to outflow. And you can't see nothing over here, right? Now we will see. See, the fire is getting not going up from here because this is just creating, this is just absorbing fire. The fire is gonna go near this object. Smoke can, but see, the fire is not going. It just like cut it from here. So if I'm gonna move this up, now I'm gonna do it. See, fire is going and just like see, it's crashing over here. The fire is not touching like that. So that's outflow. Delete that. And yeah, you can use that effector too. What effector gonna do? The fire is gonna collide with that object. So see, and now let's see. That's the, if I'm gonna increase the size, see, it's just colliding with the fire like that. Let this, let's just take it with a mesh like cube. The size of Z, size of like that. Now you can see it more. I'm gonna do it effector like that. See, the fire is going around it. I'm gonna do it here. See, fire is colliding with it. Increase the size and like that. The fire is going around over here. But like that. So that's a refactor. I like this. So now you know how to create fire simulation using mesh. Okay, you can set the direction using, you can also use wind over here, like force field and wind. I'm gonna rotate it in y direction just a little bit, move it in z sorry x, and now just have it to flow. Tab 3, this face, increase in x like that. So the fire gonna be going in this direction because we have this force field. Tab this, I'm gonna increase the strength like that. And now you can see fire is going in their direction because of this force field. So you can control the fire with it like that. Quick, so delete this. Okay, so that's how you can create fire using a mesh. Now I'm going to use a particle system. I'm going to delete this X and just save it. Now I'm going to create a circle like how I created in this video. So let's go. Let's create a circle. I'm going to fill it. I'm going to use n-gons. And one more thing, the radius will be 0.1. 0.1 will be better. Okay, select this g of z, and rotate it in y direction 90 degrees. First of all, g of x, rotate in y direction 180, like that, and just I'm gonna apply the rotation like that. Now what I'm gonna do, let's just create a cylinder also, so just like more professional. It's not gonna professional, but still. Shift D, copy in the X direction, paste it, increase the size, tab, extrude it, okay, tab, select this. So for now we are not creating fire using the mesh. We are gonna creating fire using particle system. So first add a particle system. Okay. So I've added a particle system. You can just set the seed according to you, like the seed and which direction you need, and the numbers. I'm just let it be 1000 so, and this is the starting frame would be 5 for me, and 50. The lifetime would be 45. Okay, and for now I'm gonna set the velocity of to it. So setting the velocity like that. The particle is going. I think 20 would be better like that. And now I'm gonna do the damping. Yeah, this. What this damping gonna do? It's gonna just slow down. Just use some gravity and just slow it down after a distance. So like that you can see without damping this is going this much far, and with damping it's going here. So let's 0.5 would be very good. No, 0.1 would be good. 0.0 I guess. That's much better. Yeah, that's good. Now let's add a ground. So we can do that. First you stop, add mesh, plane, scale the size, G of Z. I'm gonna add a wall too, like we have created this. So G of X, scale it in both X and Y and Z direction, like that. Just gonna decrease the size and Y direction, like that, G of Z. Now that for this also, we can't see the if we're gonna. So this is a particle system. Now what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to physics tab, doing the same stuff, fluid and flow. fire and smoke, inflow. The same thing we're gonna do. But one thing we're gonna do. If we're gonna do it, if we're gonna do it the same, then the part, the smoke will gonna emit from this our circle, from our circle. This it's not gonna emit like that from the particles. So we're gonna change the mesh to the particle system, and we're gonna choose our particle system. Now the fire is gonna emit not from the mesh, from the particles. So now we have, but there's one thing left. What? Which is left? What is left? Yeah, domain. Gonna we're gonna add oxygen to it. So let's get started. I'm gonna copy it. Shift D, take size in X, like that. G of X. I'm gonna stick it with that. G of B. So this is stuck. This is better. Yes. Size in the y direction, decrease it because we don't need that much. And for that, we're gonna set it to domain like that. Now we have our fire. Like you can see, we have our fire, and I'm gonna show you that. If we're gonna set this to mesh, the fire is only gonna go around the mesh like that. But we want particle system. Okay, so that's our. And now the part, if the fire is going like, but we need collision. So what's we're gonna do? We're gonna collide the fire with this two sides, the bottom one and the right one. So let's do that. Domain, select our domain, the bottom and the right one. Now our fire, we're gonna do that and adapter. Let's do it. Mm, And now we're gonna take a particle system. We have to do one thing. We have to set the collision with the collection objects. No, in that we're gonna mm, like that. You can see, and this is going just to uniform. So now what we're gonna do? We're gonna do it. Select our particle system. Just do it randomize. Some randomize. So the particle is gonna emit in different directions. Some random. See, now particle is going and just decrease this up. Okay. Yeah, now it's good. I was just doing it wrong. So now our particles are going in the random direction a little bit, and Now that's good. Now I'm gonna switch it to cycles, GPU support. Just save it. Now let's just go and yeah, particle over here. Object visibility in the viewport also now, render also now. So that's our fire. I think I should just add a vorticity to it. Mm, yes. Yeah, let's restart this. I'll save this. Blender, open our fire simulation like that. Under cycles. Okay. That. Okay, so you can now see the fire. So now there you have your file. Now the thing is left is light shady. So let's get started. I'm gonna just remove it, and instead of that I'm gonna use the shader editor. Okay, or the okay. So now we're gonna do the fire is in this in the domain. So we're gonna just do shading to the domain. Let's add that. For now, we don't need principal BSDF. Instead of this, we need volumetric. Like this principal volume. We're gonna do it to volume, not in surface, because this is a volume principle. So do this, and now I'm gonna add attribute node. Eventually, attribute is gonna add this to color amp and add a math node. Color, add a math node. gonna multiply it. That, that's in the emission strength. And so delete this, add this, color to this, set it to emission strength. Okay.
And then later in this.
So go to render, and like you can see that this is that is good. That will be a timeline. Not again. What's happening in render? I don't know. Not again, man. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let me check it really quick. Make that not. Just make it really quick. My bake button is gone. So okay guys, I have created it again, and this time I have baked it. So when you create the fire and the domain, just flow in the domain, when you're gonna select your domain and go in the physics tab, you're gonna like see here's a button free data. It means I have baked it, but here I'm getting free data, and here you're gonna get a button called bake data. So when you click it, it's gonna take some time according to your resolution. It took me 3 hours to bake this at 320 resolution. So after baking, you can just see it in render also. That time we can't able to see it, and just go into cycles like that. Mm, yeah. And we haven't done it anything yet. So let's just go and do it. Okay, so like that, you can see over here. You can see the bake data option. I'm gonna do it faster, so it's gonna take some time if you do it at 324 or higher resolution according to you. I'm gonna do it at 64, so it's gonna not gonna take some time. So let's get it. And here's the button, bake data in the physics tab on the domain. Right now just bake data. You can see it's baking and 10% completed. Because the resolution is low, then it is going faster. If you wanna do it at 324, then it's gonna take about 3.5 hours. See that how fast it is doing. Mm, So like that, the fire is baked. You can see that. There's no light. So we're gonna render the animation. I'm gonna do the resolution 1024 for resolution. Render animation is gonna do it. But we haven't set up the shader. The first lights are blank. So let's go over here and start cycle GPU support like that. And here the emission color, we can set black body. And over here you can set the hue saturation value. Just control the color of the fire. Let's add light. Mm, like that, you can see the smoke. Now, with this, we're gonna set this. So, delete the BSDF. In the volume, we're gonna add a principal volume, principal volume over here like that. And now, I'm gonna add an attribute node. Set the fact value in the color ramp like that, and this value we're gonna multiply it. So math multiply like that, and this is going to the emission strength. So you can just set this values according to you. I'm gonna do it over here. This is going to be black. Okay. So you can see that it is just noisy. We can see the textures on the smoke. And now you can increase that value. I'm gonna go in with 17. And we'll show the colors. You can just emission color. You can add a black body like that. And set a hue saturation node over here. So I just forgot that. You can type heat in here. And I'm gonna delete this. So this is our file, this is the emission. You can just set the emission. You can just play with this both values. Like doing this lesson is gonna make it a more reddish. And you can just like that. Here I'm gonna do it around 15 or something. This is good at it is good. And how you can change color? You can change color from over here. Add a hue saturation node between the black body and the emission strength, like that. And then you can just play around with these values, like that. You got color. You got a colorifier. That's blue. You can just make it darker, like that. And that here is your blue file. You can just play with these values more. You're gonna pink. Like yellow, green, blue, like that. You can play with that. I'm gonna go it over here. Like that. And add a volume info node, color ramp, do this. What we are going to do with this, we're gonna add this to density. So for that, we are taking the volume density. Add this. I don't need this one. Just do that as it, and like a more multiplier. Then just add it to density. Now you can just play with that. That one looks cool. Like that. And here your file is ready. Now you can just set your resolutions over here, max samples, and after that you can just render the animation from here, and it's gonna generate the frames. But I'm not gonna do that. And then over here, let's just join this areas. So as your flame is created, what you're gonna do? gonna go with the engine scene and like that, just select your FPS and just frames, and then choose your directory where you want to save. So I have this old one. I'm gonna show you how you can directly do that video, but I don't prefer that, and no one just prefers that. You can just import the PNG images, just select a resolution and export it. Select a different folder, create a new folder for it, empty folder, and there is gonna do it. And after your animation is rendered, just go open a new Blender file, open a new window of Blender file, video editing. Okay, so I'm gonna save this, and here sequence, add image sequence. Over here, select your folder. I have an E drive here, and in the animation, and in the file animation. Here are all the images that are rendered. So just gonna select this, and one more thing, sort it by name. So it's gonna be in order, like 80, 84, 85. It's gonna be in order, and just add them. Now just set the frame rate what you have chosen in that during render, and just yeah, select this all images. I forgot in telling that short. Select this all images short and add strip. Now you got it. So here is your fire animation. Now you can just render your animation. Here go in the scene. Here you choose the video. Choose the video format from here, and just gonna render your animation. Then you got your animation in the folder that you have chosen. So that's how. Just enjoy the animation, and you're gonna get the file, get our project file in the description. So check that out. Thank you.